Welcome back to another episode of the Hailing Frequencies Open, where every week Will and I sit down and discuss the things that you discussed on episodes of the Retrack podcast, where we discuss an episode of Star Trek every week.
They're hailing us. Hailing frequencies open.
Captain, we're receiving 285,000 hails.
I wish I knew what to tell them.
This is that bit getting old yet? I don't think so.
No,
I like
no,
it.
no. Yeah, that's
Okay,
fine.
good. That's good. I didn't think so. This week, we are talking about a couple comments that we received. We're going to start on our Hailing Frequencies Open review video of The Measure of a Man. Let's see. So the first comment here is from your office, from his office.
Yes.
He says, I don't think I asked the question of the week for The Measure of a Man. So here's one. Data packed up his sentimental items when he was going to resign. What one item that you have now would you want to make sure you packed? An NX-01 model? Gordon's fisherman bust?
Yeah, that's tough.
It's way too early for these kind of questions, first of all. And, to be fair, Data took like a few things from his office, not just
True, yeah.
one thing. So,
This is true. This is true. I mean, a lot of stuff I wouldn't like really care, like in the sense of like if a fire was happening, like
yeah.
I wouldn't run around my house trying to like pack up random sentimental things. Just get out the important stuff, like my wife and like a lot what do you call it, like a lockbox thing and like a go bag. Like that's pretty much what I would be aiming to get.
Yeah.
But if it was like him and I was packing things up, there's like when I moved and stuff, like I would be packing up stuff that like is a one of a kind item, things that like I can't just go and buy online again, kind of a thing. I have some artwork that I commissioned from comic book artists that like they're they don't
Yeah.
have that type of art. I can't just like go on his shop and like buy it again. So
That's true.
probably what I would end up like making sure I would absolutely pack is that kind of stuff. Mostly other stuff. Signed stuff is cool, but I could always maybe if that person's alive get them to sign something again. So
Your signed castle poster from Nathan Fillion.
that's
That
right.
you gotta have that. I mean,
That's
that's
right. Yeah, it's true.
yeah, I don't know. That's a hard question. Probably, honestly, it probably would be like my external like hard drive, like out of my computer. I have like I don't know what it is, like a 10 terabyte like drive that I plug into my computer, and it literally has like my entire catalog of everything,
Okay, yeah.
all my videos, all my, stuff, all my 3D files.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
So that's probably what I'd be grabbing because like I can replace the computer, I can replace the printers, but there's a lot of stuff on there that like I've paid for to have like files of stuff I've paid for. Some of that stuff is like gone. You know how like stuff gets deleted from the internet and it's just gone.
Yep.
I literally like once a week I'll have somebody message me about my Metroid Prime like helmet that I built
Oh,
and ask me like if I still have the files for it because like nobody online has them.
wow.
So I'll email those files out probably like once or twice a month. I'll get somebody that like messaged me about those. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a pretty basic unfun answer. I know he's looking for something like, "Oh, I have this Sand Slash figure
Yeah,
from
right.
Burger King from 1985. Got it as a child." Yeah, and the other thing, like for me, like a lot of my stuff is like printed and painted by me, and it takes like hours and hours of work. So it's hard to like pick one thing that I'd be like, oh, that I have to take that. I don't know. Other than that, it would probably be something like I have these like on my desk right here. I'm looking at. I have these little like so back in 2000, they made
Oh
this like
wow.
series called Snow Buddies.
Okay.
They're like little snowmen like doing stuff, and my mom loved these guys, and so like every year I'd buy her like another one, and she had them like all displayed. So I took these, when she died, and I don't know, I'd probably grab these if I had to like run out of here. I don't know, but other than that,
Yeah, it's tough because like you said,
I
everything
don't,
could be.
I don't know what the situation is.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like him, you're resigning, so it would just be you no longer are living at your home. You can't be there anymore.
Yeah.
Not on fire. It's nothing like that. You just can't be there.
It's also funny for us too because like so we've both been to his office
Yeah.
and he has like one shelf of just like Star Trek ships.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay. So like for him he'd be like, oh well, do I want Picard's ship or do I want Enterprise?
Picard's ship.
Yeah, Picard's ship. Um and for you and I, like our offices are just packed to the brim
Oh,
with
to the
just
brim.
just absolute junk. I mean,
Yep. Yep. If you ask either of our wives, they'd be like, "Oh, it's full of garbage."
yeah.
To the brim.
Yeah. Well, it's like I mean, your living room is my living room is probably the only place where I don't have stuff,
Too much.
really.
Not too much. You have that shelf on the wall with all the little Grogu things
So
on
that shelf, yeah, so that's another good example. So that shelf is a thing that like the wife and I both collect,
it.
and we've both
Okay.
like went out and like scourged for those little
Yeah.
figures. So like that's kind of sentimental.
Yeah.
But I have stuff upstairs. I have stuff downstairs. It's just like I think really the answer is that I would just like board up the house and just
I'll come.
barricade myself in here. Yeah.
I'll come back. I'll come back to it. I'll make it really fun. These are the two things I would absolutely save. I would save a 2009 Spock Burger King toy of Zachary Quinto.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, and then I would save uh Jeff Goldblum's character from Independence Day Funko Pop. That's what I would.
Wow. Those are
Yeah,
good choices.
not not my wife's. No, I wouldn't
No,
save that one. I would
no, Jeff Goldblum is
Jeff
better. Yeah.
Goldblum. Yeah,
Do you have a Scotty from that movie?
I do have a Scotty from
No.
that
See,
movie.
now that's more important. That's more
He used to say
important.
things that
He
he
doesn't
doesn't
anymore.
anymore.
He
Spock
doesn't.
might. Let's see if Spock still says something.
It doesn't even sound like him out here. Anyway, so there you go. There's our answer. Thanks for that stupid question first thing in the
Yep.
morning. Yeah, great. All right. Next
Great.
comment here is from Captain Alimar. He says, enjoyed ranking the seasons of Scott B's Enterprise. Based on Scott's hair, season two was best, then one, three, and four last. I'm glad Will loves that episode with Phlox in control of Enterprise. I liked it a ton too. The Doctor centric episodes were all good. I especially loved that T'Pol was so useless in the episode, offering no real help at all. No spoiling.
Yep, that's right. He doesn't spoil ththings.
Good.
Captain Alimar
Yeah,
understands.
he knows, you know. Caleb is right there. The characters on Scotty B's Enterprise are I love the fact that he calls him Scotty B. Scotty B's Enterprise are all pretty fun and interesting. Bakula is my favorite on the cast personally. Travis and Malcolm are the weakest characters to me. No, 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 no. This is horrible. This is horrible news. At least Malcolm. Malcolm's good.
Yeah, he's gonna go into the stuff
Yeah.
about Travis, but yeah, I don't think Malcolm is weak.
Yeah, I can see Travis.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
for
Sadly,
sure.
sadly.
But Malcolm is the security officer, the British security officer. I mean, how much better can it be? He says Travis is unfortunately pretty forgettable most of the time. They try a lot more with Malcolm, giving him Section 31 nonsense and Mako leader drama. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
kind of a little cringy, wasn't it? The
a
whole
little bit,
Mako thing. Yeah,
a little bit.
but the
They
Makos are pretty cool.
they
And
kind of do okay by it. They kind of do okay by
I said, "Oh, the commander. Oh, he's dead. Oh, jeez. I
that.
was just mad at him. Now he's dead."
And now you're
Oh,
spoiling
what
things.
a what a tragedy. Everybody's seen Enterprise but me. I like them all, but someone has to be on the bottom, I guess. It's hard not to notice the hard pivot in tone with the show that Will mentioned with season three, and it's trying something a bit different. Will brought up the changing style of TV and how everyone wanted to be like 24, and that is an era we are really feeling now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, many shows feel like 6 hour movies split into 8 parts, and I think we need to rethink that model. I think Star Trek is prime ground for a show that has a longer overall plot with room for standalone episodes to flesh out the world, thinking a bit more like Mando season one or two. Anyways, good stuff, guys. Keep up the good work. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's interesting. It's funny about it's TV stuff, and it's not even really TV stuff, but like when Disney Plus started doing TV shows,
yeah,
it was like revolutionary again that they were doing like, hey, this show comes out on Friday, and you're either gonna be here or you're not gonna be here. And you're like,
mm,
wow, that's such a cool concept. Like in this age of media consumption, where like Netflix will put out like Stranger Things season two, and it's just like every episode's up. You can watch all of it tonight and be late for work in the morning. You know,
yes, yes,
and then for like them to go like, no, this show comes out Fridays. Anytime on Friday, you can watch it. I
yeah,
was like, wow, that's an episode, week to week. It's
yeah.
kind of a crazy concept, but so I always use like the X-Files format,
Okay,
like good TV. It has like this overarching storyline of like Mulder's sister being abducted,
yeah,
the like government like hat man is like bad, like working, behind the scenes. But then
yeah,
like, one week will just be like a creature episode where there's just
right.
like, hey, this weird thing is happening in this place.
And that's all
And
that
that's
happened.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like Star Trek is a good example. Like you can have these fun, wacky one-offs with an overarching, subplot.
yeah. The thing I literally watched like last night or 2 nights ago was this reel of a guy being like he was like we're just going in a big circle, and he's
Yeah.
like it's pretty unbelievable. He says we're at the point where like streaming services are just cable.
Yep.
He's
Oh
like
yeah, 100%.
it's like,
It's more
oh,
than cable.
well, you have to, in order to like you have to pay for everything, and even though you pay for it, it has commercials, and in order to watch what you want to watch, you have to pay for like every single thing just because
Hmm.
everything is broken up the way it is. Next thing he says, don't be surprised next time you say is like, oh man, I keep like losing my phone, and when I'm home and people want to get a hold of me, it's like sometimes I don't know where it is and it's important information. So it'd be really great if I could like mount my phone to the wall and there was like a wire that like charged it on the wall, and then it would like ring out loud, and then I would go and pick it. He's like, just
Yeah.
wait, you just wait.
Introducing the office phone.
Exactly.
Tired
Exactly.
of your cell phone getting lost in the couch? It's good.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's true, right? So we all ditched cable for streaming services, and then all of the
Yeah.
cable companies got smart to it, and they were like, "Well, you like The Office?" I'm like, yeah, I love The Office. Like, well, you can only watch it on Paramount if you pay for it
Yep.
or not. Yeah. And it's like, hey, you
Yep.
like Star Trek? Yeah, that's all on Paramount. You got to pay for that too.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, you like this one show? Like, yeah. Like, well, that's an HBO exclusive. So you can either buy the HBO app,
Yeah.
or if you already you already pay for Hulu? Yeah, I already pay for Hulu. Well, It's an extra 15 on Hulu. Like, oh wow. So basically what has happened is now we pay more than cable.
Yes,
Yeah. It's cool and we love it. We love it.
we love it. I wouldn't change it.
Wouldn't change a thing. I know. I always do this thing like every month where I'm just like, I'm so sick of paying for all that. Like, what do we even watch on here?
I know.
Like, let's just get rid of it. And then, my wife is always like, well, I like watching this. And sometimes we go back and watch House. And sometimes
Yeah.
we watch it. I'm like, oh my God. Oh boy. All right. So the next one here is Captain Olimar again. He says, almost forgot the question for this week. Based on Worf's track record, is there anyone on the ship he could overpower? No. No, it doesn't seem like it.
Um,
Maybe Picard.
yeah. Well, Picard without logic him. Riker would beat him up clearly.
Definitely Wesley. He could overpower Wesley for
Yeah,
sure.
he'd beat up Wesley
He
real
beat
good.
he beat the snot out of that.
And Geordi, he'd beat up Geordi.
Jordy wouldn't even see it coming.
He would beat up Deanna.
Yeah.
She'd get
Oh
away
my
because she'd
God.
feel him being angry, but
Yeah.
but
Oh.
he'd still get her.
I
I think
feel murderous intent.
I think Pulaski would be like, I've studied jujitsu for 40 years, and then would
He'd
like
have something. Yeah.
she'd slide over and then be like hyper spray.
Remember when I got old and then I got unold? Now my bones have become 10 times stronger. All
That's all right.
right. So here we go. This is from our review of the Dolphin,
The
which of
dolphin.
course is French for dolphin. So the first one here is from my office. So buckle in your seatbelts. So he starts off here. He says, what species are you? Is an odd question to ask. Mystery, drama, intrigue. Why did anyone question such a weird greeting? Yeah, it was strange.
Are you human? No.
Okay, goodbye.
Yeah, right.
We meet the creepy, overbearing advisor Enya. She was Gozer's voice. That's funny. No wonder she's so creepy. Then, uh-oh, teenage love warning. Riker's joke to Wesley is funny to me, telling him he's got no chance. That was a bit on the nose there.
Yeah.
No, not her.
No, no.
No, the one my age. Riker. Jeez.
Oh.
Weirdo. Oh, gross. Selena is destined to rule, and Wesley is clearly distracted. I doubt if anything meets with that woman's approval. Great line from Worf. Yeah. Yeah. Now Troy picks up on something weird about people. Where was this ability all the other times they needed it? Well, usually she's not even on the episode, so.
Yeah, my favorite is the fact, and we touched on it in the review, was that she's like, "Oh, they're not
Hmm.
really humans." And then Picard's like, "What? What do you mean? What are they?" And she's like, "I don't know,
I
but they're
don't
not
know.
humans." And then Worf chimes in, he's like, "It's just a shell." And I'm like, "How do these people know? How do you know?"
Should we raise defenses? No, no. Mm-mm.
No, no, no.
No, no, no. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, to remember there's aliens. I mean, the only thing would be really bad is if they're actually like some kind of like big, like hairy monster. But
I
I
wouldn't.
doubt that.
I
I
wouldn't
doubt it.
like that.
They're probably like balls of light or something stupid. We've seen that countless times out here in the galaxy.
No.
He says in the guest quarters, there's suddenly some other person on board. I guess they did all of this to clue us in that the fact that they're shapeshifters. But it's weird to have a girl show up so briefly and not bring this form back again. Then even weirder to have the girl become an Ewok. What is going on? It all seems clumsy and made very little sense. It did make me wonder what a TNG crossover with Elf would have been like, though. Wow, that's funny.
He would have ate all the space cats.
Is anybody gonna eat this cat? Yeah, it's really funny that they use this scene to like show the audience like, hey, these people can shapeshift, but it's like it's more confusing than just showing them shapeshift. It's like, okay.
Yeah, to me, don't you think if she beamed up as the girl, the two girls, and it was like, oh, it's just we're just passengers, and then when they got in the room, it shows her morphing into Anya, and then it's like she's like, ah, I will investigate the ship, and I will see if these people are truly worthy, of protecting you, and then like she changes into something else, like a security guard or something.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that would, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like I also feel like the way that those scenes are filmed, like almost like there's deleted scenes of it. Like there's scenes that make those scenes make more sense.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weirdly done, you know.
Mm.
Because that scene starts off, and so now you have the main girl talking to a teenager,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're like, what the frick? I was like, okay, so one of the servants came aboard too, but I didn't remember seeing her on the transport. Then I was like, oh, and then she turns into a little bear, little Ewok dude, and then I was like, what the heck? And then it turns back into the old lady. I was like, oh, okay, yeah,
Got
got
it.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
also, like, why?
yeah, there's
Like
no
that was
reason
what
for
I
it.
was like, for whose benefit is that?
It
Well,
totally
I'll become this teenager, so I'm more relatable to you.
it totally feels like it's filmed by like a 12-year-old in high school where they're just like everything's changed. Look, they're shapeshifters, so we're just gonna make them do things. And just like you run in, it's like you do this thing. It's like, yeah, but it has no context, it has no explanation. It's just scenes filmed.
Change.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. That's a pretty good way to explain it. That,
Yeah.
yeah. Boy, he says, get that boy out of engineering. Good call, Jordy. I laughed at the look on Wesley's face when Worf growls. Learning about Klingon romance, reading love poetry, and ducking a lot because the female throws things. Klingons are freaky. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they're something. He says, gasp. The teddy bear is a shapeshifter. Wesley gets help from Riker and Guinan. Get ready for a clinic, Wesley. Riker maneuver over the chair and then the Riker maneuver over Guinan's heart. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this scene myself. It was funny. It was funny. We agree. We also thought it was too long.
I did not find it
Um,
funny.
yeah,
I am on the other side of the fence.
yeah. He says Anya getting up in Geordie's and Pulaski's business. Then suddenly evil Wookiee bug. I don't understand why Picard was coming to sickbay at that moment. Crazy coincidence to do so right when things get crazy. Maybe Picard's UTI was has returned. That's right. I forgot about his UTI from the week before where he's like constantly leaving the bridge.
He's just doing it again. He's just wandering the halls.
Yeah, why was he down there?
The only thing I could think of is that like when a security alert is made, like it also apprises like the bridge and Picard like came down.
Or Picard knew that like Worf was gonna go give like Anya a tour, so he was planning on going down to like meet them
Oh, like meeting her in medbay.
for the
Yeah,
tour. I don't know.
possible, possible.
Yeah, pretty great stuff here. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Choose the form of the destructor. The traveler has come.
Right. That's right.
I I found the moment between Wesley and Celia at the replicator to be sweet. It was cool for her to see other places in the holodeck. One last trip before she begins her rule. I agree that Wesley is super dense for just not getting her situation through his thick skull.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. After the 10 forward scene and feelings exchanged between the two, the march down the corridor then felt very high school drama. Not a fan of that. I can't, Wesley. I just can't. Okay, you don't understand.
You don't get it.
They're at war. I'll be dead as soon as I land. They're not
You're
going to
seeing
listen to a
it.
child, a female child. Are you kidding me? I'm going to my death, Wesley.
It's the point to take away is there is a war on the planet and a
Yep.
war in their hearts for each other.
A war of passion.
Don't
I'll be killed.
you understand?
Don't you get it? You
How
think I
could
don't want to stay here and eat ice cream?
how could you understand? You're not a giant blob of light jelly.
Oh my God. Okay. He says a little, apparently illegal, kiss and then battle of the beasts. My girlfriend is a bear. I don't think Wesley. I don't,
It feels like a
does that
Discovery
feel like a
Channel thing, right?
goosebumps? It feels
Oh,
to me more like a
goosebumps.
or like a remember how like the supermarket used to have those like magazines that were like
Yeah, like
totally like
tabloids. Yeah,
tabloid
yeah,
and be like my girlfriend is a Yeti or my girlfriend it's like
yeah.
something stupid like that, you
Men
know,
in,
like I'm dating Bat Boy.
yeah, yeah. It's Men in Black stuff where they read it, right? Yeah. They're like, "Oh,
Oh
this is
yeah.
the best journalism the planet offers."
I love that. Oh man, that's what it feels like. That's what that sentence feels like.
My girlfriend, it's a bear.
I don't think Wesley deserves heat for this situation, though. Selena came to him. I never thought that it might have been Anya and not Selena, but that would have been a crazy twist. Yeah,
It would have been.
yeah, that's like legitimately like what we thought was going. And then
Oh yeah.
I really wanted her to turn into the beast while kissing him. I love you, Wesley. Pat. Scratch my ass. All right. Yeah, I mean, we talked about that too. Like, she came into his room, dude.
Oh, 100%.
And then like Anya's like, I told you to stay away from her. I'm like, I live here, dude. Like, I live here.
Like you're in my room.
She walked in, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I don't know what to tell you, old lady. I like that Worf and Anya had a nice moment of respect between two warriors. Worf and Anya should have kissed as well to keep up the creep factor. Oh man, that would
The
have been
only
so much
way,
better.
but he knows the only way that that would be acceptable is if it was a Klingon kiss.
I don't even want to know what that is.
I don't think there is any
Mm.
documentation of it, but I mean, they obviously gouge each other's eyes out and then they kiss each other, so
Well, obviously he wasn't gonna kiss her. She didn't. She wasn't throwing anything at him.
he didn't know what her intentions were.
Celia says goodbye to Wesley, off to fulfill her destiny. Wesley is loudly upset that she's not being humanoid. What's his deal? He's a xenophobic loser. I'm glad they got a sweet goodbye instead, but it did totally come out of nowhere. Crazy hormonal boy. She's a really beautiful creature. Better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. But is that really the case? I've always questioned this phrase. All right, what do you think? Is it better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all? Wow. That's a good question. I think the only real benefit that comes from it is you learn more.
Yes. Yes.
You learn more from it. You also learn like how not to be like selfish in a relationship. Plus, like, even with like breakups and stuff, like you do have good moments that you remember,
Sure, yeah.
even if you hate that person now.
Hate him. Burn
Hate
them.
him. I don't even like him. Yeah, I feel like your memories I feel like as humans we have a way of, you know, romanticizing things a bit more anyway. So even if like it's a horrible situation and like it's good that it's over, you look back on it like fondly and it's like, yeah, but it really kind of wasn't though, was it?
Yeah, true. Yeah, we do sometimes have rose tinted glasses about things.
Rose-colored glasses.
The thing personally, I think like if it's a relationship, then exactly what you said, which is like it's better to have loved and lost because you'll grow as like a person. But like if it comes to like an inanimate object where it's like or like I don't know, like you love this t television series and then it gets like really terrible and it loses like what it was.
Yeah.
It's better to just not have liked the show in my
Yeah.
opinion. It's like I much rather would have not watched that thing and gotten attached and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's garbage and now you're like for the rest of your life you're just like, oh, but if they had only just changed like episode 3 of season 4 and it's like, yeah, or whatever. Yeah, it's like,
That's
yeah,
an interesting way to look at it from like it's like a TV thing. So here's a question for you.
yeah,
Would you have rather never seen Firefly?
yes,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah. It's like because all you do is pine that you hope that Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion and
Yeah.
Jewel Straight like all come back and they do another thing. It's like that's all you ever want. You literally, and every time another year or two goes by and another cast member dies or they get older, you're like, oh, it's never going to happen, and you just get sadder. It's
Yeah.
like, but if I never watched Firefly and Serenity, it's like
I
then I
would never have that feeling. Yeah.
it's like I wouldn't care. I don't care about whatever's going on. I feel like when it comes to that kind of stuff, I don't feel that way. But obviously, in human relationships, things that are important, like yeah, like you said, it helps
Yeah.
you grow, helps you mature, helps you realize like what's actually important, and it puts a big magnifying glass on like your personality, and
Yeah.
you can become a better person, and
I
hopefully,
I think the other side of that too, like if you love somebody and they don't love
Mm,
you back, that's like a thing that you have to like get over. I don't know really if that benefits you,
true.
other than yeah, I don't know.
I think the only argument is like, could you really have lost something that you didn't really have?
Yeah. And
Tough.
usually,
No, it's
usually what it is it's usually just infatuation. It's usually not
right.
love
True.
anyway, but
True. True. Yeah.
it sure feels like it.
Eh.
All right, so then he continues here. He says, it was a realistic scene with Wesley and Guinan, in my opinion. She told him how it is. Sometimes love hurts. Loss of love hurts. How every time love is different. It doesn't make it easier, though. Falling in love with someone you shouldn't, that also hurts incredibly. Well,
This is my
yeah.
argument. What he said here in this short little like small paragraph is 100% fine. That's not what Guinan. I understand Guinan is saying that and read between the lines, but she's so dismissive and almost like, yeah, suck it, kid. She's so kind of rude to him.
Yeah.
I just feel like it it doesn't lend to what he said, and I understand that that's what she's trying to get across. That like 100% this what he's going through is realistic, and like you have to learn this and you have to understand it. And I agree, and I'm fine with it. But it just to me personally, it does not come across like that.
No. Yeah, she seems a little bit more harsh,
It's
for
almost
sure.
like he went to go eat cookies and he was like, "Oh, my stomach hurts," and she's like, "Yep." And
That's
he's
what happens when you eat cookies, you fat idiot.
right, exactly. And then he's like, "Oh, but that's not nice to say." And she's like, "Nope, it's not nice to say."
Well, eat another one, you fat idiot.
Yeah, it's just like, "Oh, okay, yeah. How
My
nice of you."
tummy. Yeah. You should have seen her Guinan. She was a beautiful ball of light. I think he summarizes this like much better. Like if she would
Oh,
have just said
a
what he
million
said
times.
here.
A million times more. He literally surmises that whole like 3 minute section in just a few sentences, and that's exactly what they intended, but personally I do not feel like they did that.
Yeah, I mean, what's the little conversation? He says like I don't think I'll ever love somebody as much as I loved her, and she's like, yeah, you won't.
Right. Right.
You'll never love the same. You'll love people not like this. You'll never feel the same way again. You'll be searching for this feeling the rest of your life, your miserable life. Anyways, can I get you more
Anyways,
noodles or
Ovaltine?
Ovaltine, perhaps? A glass of warm milk, perhaps?
No,
S-
thank you.
Stay close to the candles.
Yes, yes.
The staircase can be treacherous. This episode has some really cheesy practical monster stuff and odd character moments. There was a good deal of humor and heart. I liked it much more than I remember having liked it before. One Akuda from me. Thank you guys for the great review. And the popcorn award goes to Patty Edwards as Enya. She was creepy.
Yeah. So there we go. So you had Ed Mark Starr who said nobody gets it. You had Captain Olimar who said Wesley should get it. And now you have from your office saying that
Mm,
Patty Edwards should get it. So
yeah, I'll agree with from my office there that Patty Edwards is probably the popcorn
yeah,
for this week.
yeah.
Her the way that they had her like face wrapped in that little thing
Like
and it just
bonnet.
pushed her
Yeah.
like face out and it just made her eyes bug out like this the whole episode. I was like, man, I'm sold. Whatever
Yeah.
she says,
I believe it.
I believe it. Yeah. Yeah, she was pretty good. She sold that like crazy. I really don't enjoy that the whole episode just cares about Celia and then is just like, oh, nah, you can do what you want. I was just testing you, basically. Oh, and also you're going to the planet alone. You're ready. You're ready now.
You're ready. You're so ready.
Yeah, it's just such a weird wrap up. I
Yeah,
really
I
don't
don't.
enjoy that scene with her and Worf either, if I'm being honest. Like
No.
from my office does.
Like, I'm glad that he enjoyed it, and I'm glad that he rated it higher than he anticipated. Like, oh, that's great, and I hope that our like review of it helped elevate it a little bit of him, and he enjoyed it even more. But I 100% agree with you when you gave it the Porthos Award that
Yeah.
the whole for whatever the last act there, the fifth act, whatever it's titled, was just really bad. It feels like a Saturday Night Live skit where it's like they have all of this content in the beginning and they're like, okay, the skit is ending in 30 seconds. How do we wrap it up? And it's like, well, this thing crashes through the wall and then and the skit is over with. And it's like that's how they wrote the end of the episode. They're just like everything 180s and everything is fine.
Change.
Yes, yes.
All right, well, now it's everybody's favorite time. What is popular this week?
This is popular, so popular. This is popular this week.
So, from user KKCan2020, he posted a picture of three Lego guys, and it says, "Hello, computer." Like we were just talking about this.
Yeah, yeah,
That's really funny. This is great. It's Scotty and Bones and the guy at the polymer plant,
yeah.
like all in Lego.
Not now, Madeline.
So does this look like a practical set that somebody built to you, or is this a 3D animated?
It's totally a 3D animated thing.
Yeah.
There's no way there's no
Because
way.
you don't think you could find a face that looks like Bones.
Yeah, and also just like the lighting of it all is like way too
Too
clean.
shiny.
Way too clean. Yeah. I tell you what
No
though,
seams either. No
I would
seams.
watch all of the TOS movies again if they were
Oh
Lego
man.
movies.
Nuclear vessels.
Yeah. He would,
I would
what would happen is he would run, and then when he would fall off the edge, he would break into a bunch of little pieces. Yeah.
all the all like the bits
Yeah, yes,
like
yes.
fly out like in the
Yeah.
game. Oh, dude, I am there. I am there.
Star Trek the Lego game, like
Oh,
all of them.
dude.
Yeah, all day. All day and all
Well,
night.
they just now have the rights to Star
That's
Trek stuff,
true.
so maybe.
Ooh.
Dear Lego team, please make video game about Kirk. Thank you.
Please.
Please. Please and
Please.
thank you. I enjoy that.
Also, the other thing I like too, I like when people say it in comments in general. I like when they say, I can't click or press the like button hard enough. I'm always like, yes, I agree.
That is fun. All right, so the next one here is from Mr. Weatherbeef, and this is from a Galaxy Quest subreddit. So, what the heck? Well, must not have been any Enterprise stuff this week.
No, there was nothing worth. One of it was like a really mean shot across the bow of Phlox, and I was like, no. Then the other one was like a comment on Archer and T'Pol, and I was like, no.
No.
I went to Next Gen, it was all spoilers. I went to Strange New Worlds, it literally was just like random pictures of like the cast, and I was like, this isn't interesting enough, so I was just like, yeah.
Well, this is the same. So this is from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
He says, if I'm on a plane and it's playing, I'm watching. Activate the Omega 13. It's pretty great.
I think the only reason it really, I mean, it's like it's a simple picture. Obviously, Galaxy Quest is great, but the thing that made me laugh, I think why I was like, no, I have to pick this and then like get rid, like instead of keep searching, was in the comments. Somebody wrote, "It's a rock. It doesn't have any vulnerable spots." And then it's like, and then the next another person commented and they were like, "That's your problem, Jason. It's like you never took the craft seriously." And then another person, completely different person, commented, they were like, look around to make something, like perhaps a rudimentary lathe.
Yes, it's good. It's good. I like when the community joins in
Oh,
with
yeah.
the full.
It
Yeah,
was so great.
it's also funny that of the entire movie,
Oh, yeah.
he posted the picture of Sigourney Weaver with her jacket unzipped.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen it as an option when I'm flying, but it's all right.
No.
I usually just watch Pacific Rim, so
Again and again.
yeah, every time. That's right, Idris Elba. You go get them. Go get those kaijus. All right. Well, that wraps us up this week. We thank you everybody for commenting and enjoying our podcast and videos and just our genuine shenanigans.
That's all right.
So, we will see you for this show next week when we talk about the episode Contagion. Is that what it? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I'm interested to see if everybody liked it like Will or if you didn't like it like me. So, can't believe what you said on there. All right, so until next time, close hailing frequencies.